What if the next Zombies movie didn't take us to the stars or back into the woods, but down into the deep unknown? Imagine an ocean hiding a secret war where mermaids fight to protect their kingdom and sirens rise to drag the world into chaos. This could be the real story of Zombies 5. Seabrook has changed many times. First, it was the home of cheerleaders and zombies locked in a bitter struggle before learning to live together. Then the werewolves arrived, wild and powerful, challenging everything the town thought it knew about outsiders. After that, the aliens came, bringing a mystery that reached beyond the stars. Each time, Seabrook was tested. Each time it learned the same lesson, that unity can overcome fear. But what if the next challenge comes not from above or from the forests, but from below the waves? The ocean has always been close to Seabrook. Its tides crash against the shore, its waters glowing under the moonlight. And yet no one ever wondered, what could be waiting beneath that endless blue? The humans thought the sea was empty. The zombies, too busy with their own struggles, never questioned it. But legends say the sea holds two kingdoms. One of light, one of darkness, one ruled by mermaids, guardians of harmony. The other ruled by sirens, masters of deception. For centuries, the mermaids and sirens fought in silence. The mermaids wanted peace with the land above, believing humans could be allies. But the sirens believed otherwise. To them, humans were weak, easy to lure, easy to bend. They whispered songs that could break a mind, promises that could shatter trust. Where the mermaids healed, the sirens corrupted. Where the mermaids built, the sirens destroyed. And now, as Seabrook shines brighter than ever, welcoming every kind of being into its heart, the ocean stirs. The balance is breaking. The first sign comes quietly. Addison, still searching for the truth about her glowing hair, begins to hear. Whispers, at night when the town sleeps, she dreams of water. Waves crashing, voices calling her name, shadows moving below the surface. She tells Zed, but he brushes it off. After all, they've dealt with zombies, werewolves, and aliens' dreams are nothing compared to that. But deep down, Addison knows. Something is coming. Something that feels like destiny. Days later, Seabrook's cheer squad practices near the shore. The air is bright, laughter spilling across the sand. But then, the water begins to glow a soft, strange light that ripples through the waves. At first, the cheerleaders think it's a trick of the sun, but then the ocean shifts. Shapes rise. From beneath, eyes shimmering, voices humming with a beauty so sharp it almost hurts. The music drifts across the sand, pulling hearts, freezing breath. The cheerleaders fall silent. Even the zombies nearby grow still. The song is like a dream. Sweet but heavy. Beautiful but dangerous. And then they appear. Two figures step from the water. One, a mermaid, her aura calm, her voice steady, her gaze filled with hope. The other, a siren, her smile sharp, her song trembling with menace. The crowd doesn't know what to feel, fear, awe, both at once. The mermaid speaks first. She warns Seabrook. She says the ocean is no longer safe, that the sirens are rising and their hunger will not stop at the shore. She begs them to trust her, to prepare, to stand together. But the siren laughs. Her voice is smooth, honey wrapped around steel. She says the mermaids lie, that the sea belongs to the sirens, and soon the land will too. She sings again, a low, dark melody, and some of the humans step forward, their eyes dazed, their will slipping away. The mermaid snaps her fingers, breaking the spell, but the damage is done. A seed of fear is planted. Seabrook has seen many visitors, but none like this. For the first time, the threat is not just another outsider. It's a war already raging beneath the waves, a war that has finally reached their shore. Addison feels her blood rush. The whispers, the dreams, they weren't just her imagination, they were a call. And now the sea is calling louder than ever. The town gathers that night to decide what to do. Some say they should fight the sirens. Some say they should trust the mermaids. But others wounded from years of conflict say they should trust no one. They wonder if Seabrook has reached its limit, if unity has finally met an enemy too strong. Zed looks at Addison and sees the worry in her eyes. She has always been different, always felt pulled by something greater. And now he begins to fear what that truly means. As the waves crash against the rocks, and the voices echo through the night, Seabrook faces its greatest question yet. Will they dive into the unknown or let the ocean rise and swallow them whole? At night, the air in Seabrook feels heavier than ever before. The sea roars against the cliffs, louder than usual, as if the ocean itself is restless. No one sleeps. The mermaid's warning and the siren's threat replay in every mind. Parents whisper to their children, locking doors, though no lock can keep out a song. Zombies pace nervously, their scars glowing faintly in the moonlight. Even the werewolves, usually fearless, stay close to the forests, ears perked at every ripple of sound. For the first time in years, Seabrook is united in fear, but Addison cannot rest. She sits by her window, staring out at the ocean. The waves glimmer under the starlight, carrying voices only she can hear. They whisper her name, not once but over and over like a chant. The sound is haunting, yet comforting, like a memory she has never lived. She clutches a seashell she found earlier that day, its surface glowing faintly with the same shimmer as her hair. The connection is undeniable. Her heart pounds. Could it be? Could her true origin lie beneath the sea? Meanwhile, deep below, the mermaids and sirens prepare. Their world is a kingdom unseen by human eyes, a place of towering coral castles and trenches that swallow light. The mermaids gather in their sanctuary, a circle of glowing stones that pulse with magic. They speak of Seabrook, of Addison, and of the prophecy that has long guided them. When land and sea collide, a child of two worlds will decide the fate of all. To the mermaids, Addison is not just a cheerleader, not just a girl with glowing hair. She is the key. The sirens know this prophecy too, but they twist its meaning. To them, Addison is not salvation, but power. If they can sway her, if they can bend her to their will, the ocean and the land will fall under their song. In the darkest trench, the Siren Queen waits, her voice sharper than any blade, her beauty terrifying to behold. She does not see humans as equals, nor mermaids as rivals. To her they are prey. She spreads her wings of shadow, sending her daughters to the surface with one mission: capture Addison. No matter the cost, back in Seabrook, the first real strike comes during the Harvest Festival. The town gathers in the square, laughter echoing under strings of lanterns. Music fills the air, blending humans, zombies, werewolves, and aliens into one joyful crowd. For a moment, the fear fades. It feels like peace again. But then the music changes. A new sound weaves itself through the drums and guitars. At first, no one notices. It's soft, almost sweet, blending perfectly with the festival's rhythm. But slowly, heads begin to turn, smiles fade, eyes glaze. The siren's song has arrived. One by one, the crowd falls silent. Their feet move without thought, drifting toward the sea. Children drop their toys, parents abandon their stalls, even the zombies lose control of their sharp instincts. Zed fights against the pole, his body trembling as if dragged by invisible chains. He grabs Addison's hand, begging her not to listen. But Addison is different. Where others weaken, she grows stronger. The song doesn't break her, it awakens her. Her hair glows brighter than ever, shining like a beacon in the night. The sirens emerge from the shadows, their beauty dazzling, their voices irresistible. The crowd kneels without question, caught in their spell, but Addison stands tall. The sirens circle her, their smiles cruel, their eyes locked on her like predators on prey. One of them whispers, "You belong to us." Another hisses, "The land is weak, the sea is eternal. Join us or watch them drown." Before they can strike, the mermaid returns. She rises from the fountain at the center of the square, water swirling around her like armor. She clashes with the sirens, their voices colliding in a storm of sound. The air shatters with music, melody against melody, harmony against chaos. The humans collapse, covering their ears, but Addison does not move. She listens, not just with her ears, but with her soul. And in that moment, she understands the prophecy was true. She is tied to both worlds. But which world will she choose? The battle ends as quickly as it began. The Sirens retreat, their queen's laughter echoing across the waves, promising they will return. The mermaid, weakened, warns Seabrook once more, the war is only beginning. She tells Addison that her destiny cannot be ignored. If she does not embrace her connection to the sea, the Sirens will destroy everything she loves. Addison feels the weight of every eye upon her, her friends, her town, her family. She has always been the bridge between worlds, but now she must decide if she is willing to dive into the deep, where shadows sing and secrets wait. Zed clutches her hand, whispering, "Whatever you choose, I'll follow." But even he knows the sea might demand a price no one is ready to pay. And as the lanterns flicker, as the last notes of the siren's song fade into the night, Seabrook realizes something terrible. Their greatest battle has not yet begun. Asterisk. The days after the festival are heavy with silence. Seabrook is no longer the cheerful town it once was. Windows remain shuttered. Streets that once rang with music and laughter are now quiet, as if the whole town is holding its breath. No one dares go near the shore. Every ripple of water feels like a warning, every whisper of wind like the beginning of a song. Even the bravest werewolves retreat from the beach at night. Sensing a darkness deeper than any forest shadow, Addison feels the weight of it more than anyone. Her hair now glows constantly, like a lantern she cannot switch off. It draws stares, whispers, and questions she cannot answer. She spends hours staring at the ocean, searching for the truth beneath the waves. Zed stays close, always trying to reassure her, but even he can see she is slipping further away, drawn into a destiny no one fully understands. Then, one evening, the ocean answers her. As the sun bleeds into the horizon, the tide rises higher than it ever has. The waters crash over the seawall, flooding the lower streets. Out of the storm rise the Sirens, dozens of them, their voices woven together in a chorus of power. They do not creep in shadows now, they do not whisper, they announce war. Their queen emerges at the center, her form towering, her eyes gleaming with hunger. Her voice cuts through the air, shattering glass, bending steel, forcing humans and zombies to their knees. But the mermaids are ready. From the waves they rise, shimmering in silver and blue, their songs weaving shields of light that push back the Sirens' darkness. The ocean becomes a battlefield, notes clashing like swords, melodies colliding like thunder. Every wave carries a strike, every chord a wound. Humans cover their ears, screaming, while the werewolves howl to drown out the sound. The aliens activate their technology, sending pulses of light into the air. But even their machines flicker under the weight of the siren's song. In the middle of the chaos stands Addison. The glow of her hair spreads into her skin, into her eyes, until she shines brighter than the lanterns of the town. Both the mermaids and the Sirens call to her. The mermaids beg her to join their circle, to complete the prophecy and bring peace. The Sirens tempt her with power, promising she can rule both land and sea. Their songs wrap around her heart, pulling her in two directions at once. Zed tries to hold her back, shouting over the roar of the music, but Addison feels something breaking inside her. The prophecy is no longer just words, it is happening here and now. Her body trembles as visions flood her mind. She sees herself beneath the waves, crowned with coral, leading armies of mermaids. Then she sees herself in shadow, her voice dark and commanding, the world bowing to her siren song. Two destinies, two futures, one choice, but the battle leaves no time for hesitation. The Sirens push forward, their queen commanding them with a scream that splits the sea itself. Water floods the town square, carrying people off their feet. The zombies form chains to save them, locking arms against the tide, but they are struggling. The werewolves leap into the waves, slashing against siren soldiers, but they are overwhelmed. The aliens' light beams cut through the water, but even they falter under the Sirens' relentless voices. Then, suddenly, Addison steps forward. She raises her hands, and the glow from her body bursts outward, a wave of light brighter than the moon. It cuts through the music, silencing both mermaids and Sirens for a single breath. Everyone stares. Even the Siren Queen is forced to pause, her smile fading into a snarl. Addison's voice rises not in song but in a cry that shakes the sky. The ocean itself responds. The waves fall still, the tide retreats, and silence spreads across Seabrook. The queen of the Sirens glares at her. "You are one of us," she hisses. The mermaid leader shakes her head. "She is more than any of us." Both factions move toward Addison, but she raises her hand again, and the ocean bends to her will. For the first time in history, land and sea obey the same command, but power comes with a cost. The light drains from her, leaving her weak, collapsing into Zed's arms. The mermaid leader warns that the Sirens will return stronger. The queen of the Sirens vows that Addison will be theirs, whether she chooses it or not. And as the armies retreat back beneath the waves, Seabrook is left in ruins. The streets are broken, homes are shattered, and the people are shaken, yet amid the destruction one truth cannot be denied. Addison is no longer just a cheerleader, no longer just a girl with glowing hair. She is the bridge between two worlds, and the war has only just begun. Seabrook lies broken. The streets are cracked, the air heavy with salt, and the ocean refuses to be calm. Every tide is higher than the last, as if the sea itself is impatient for the war to end. The people of Seabrook patch their homes with trembling hands, but no one can patch their fear. They know the Sirens will return, they know the mermaids alone cannot hold them back. And deep down, they know the fate of both land and sea rests. But Addison herself is torn apart. She wanders the ruins of the town, feeling every eye on her glowing hair, hearing every whisper of the prophecy. She wants to believe she is strong enough, but the visions haunt her still, two futures, both terrifying, both inescapable. One where she leads mermaids into peace, another where she becomes queen of the Sirens, her song bending the world to her will. She cannot choose. And the more she hesitates, the louder the whispers from the sea grow. Zed tries to hold her together, but even he feels her slipping. Each night, Addison walks to the shoreline, her feet sinking into the cold waves, her eyes fixed on the horizon. "Maybe this is who I am," she tells him softly. "Maybe I was never meant to stay on land." His hands tighten around hers. "Or maybe you were meant to change both worlds," he answers, though fear lingers in his voice. Then, the storm comes. It begins with silence, a silence so heavy it presses against the chest. Then, from the horizon, a wall of water rises, taller than the tallest tower in Seabrook. At its peak stands the Siren Queen, her army spread like shadows across the waves. Their voices begin low, a single hum, before building into a song that cracks the sky. Windows shatter. Mountains tremble. The world itself seems ready to break. The mermaids arrive, but they are weaker, their numbers fewer. Their leader calls to Addison, begging her to step forward, to fulfill the prophecy. Addison trembles, torn between light and shadow. Both sides stretch their hands toward her, both sides demand her loyalty. But Addison knows that if she chooses one, the other will destroy everything. So she does the unthinkable. She steps into the ocean. Zed tries to follow, but the water pushes him back, as if it knows this choice belongs to her alone. The glow from her hair spreads through the waves, lighting the sea from within. The siren song grows louder, desperate, furious. The mermaids respond with their own melody, clashing like thunder. And in the center of it all, Addison raises her voice, but it is not the song of a mermaid, nor the call of a siren. It is something new, something greater. A sound that blends harmony and chaos, light and shadow, hope and fear. It is the voice of someone who belongs to both worlds. It is the voice of unity. The ocean erupts. Waves rise and fall, caught between peace and destruction. The sirens clutch their ears, their power unraveling under the force of Addison's song. The mermaids weep, their tears glowing like pearls as they realize the truth. The prophecy was never about choosing one side. It was about creating a third. A future where mermaids and sirens could coexist, bound not by fear, but by a voice that carries both light and dark. The Siren Queen lunges, desperate to silence her. Her claws slice through the water, her eyes burning with rage. But Addison does not falter. Her song rises higher, stronger, until even the queen begins to falter. Her power slips, her army scatters, their songs breaking apart into silence. The mermaids surround the queen, not with weapons, but with music, their voices joining Addison's in a single endless note. The sea calms, the storm breaks. The wall of water collapses harmlessly into the sand. And for the first time in centuries, silence falls across the ocean, not of fear, but of peace. Addison collapses into the waves, exhausted, her glow dimmed but not gone. The mermaids lift her gently, cradling her as if she is one of their own. The Sirens retreat, broken but not destroyed, their queen glaring with a promise that this peace will not last forever. But for now the war is over. Seabrook gathers at the shore as Addison returns, water dripping from her hair, her eyes brighter than the stars. The people cheer, but she only looks at Zed. He rushes to her, holding her tight, whispering that she did what no one else could. She smiles faintly, but deep inside she knows the truth. This is not the end. The prophecy has been fulfilled, but prophecies are never final. The ocean still hides secrets, the sirens still hunger, and Addison herself is still changing. She is no longer just Seabrook's cheerleader, no longer just the girl with glowing hair. She is the first of her kind, the bridge, the voice, the balance between worlds. And as the waves shimmer with her reflection, one thought lingers in every heart. If this was only the beginning, what comes next will decide not just Seabrook, but the entire world.